Yo, what's up, people? Zan coming back at you live from the Accelerated Gaming Headquarters. And in today's episode, we are going to be going through the. I know the title says January to March, however, we're going to be going through December to March. As there were no tier shifts in January, I don't think, but the separate mega tier shifts were in December of 2015. So we're just going to go through those in this episode. In this video, I'm just gonna basically talk about how the Pokemon worked in the previous tier and how they should affect the new tier. So without further ado, let's get started with the video with the first Pokemon on the list, which is going to be Manectric. Now, Manectric was first moved down to UU and then moved down to RU. Um, to be honest, it was in OU at the beginning, of course, but that was only because it's Mega was. And now with it being in RU, I don't think I really want to talk about it in EU. Well, well, really in EU, it didn't do too much since you had things like Rotom Heat, obviously, as a good Volt Switcher, um, or just a good pivot in general. Um, it was really outclassed, to be honest, by other electric types, like I said, Rotom Heat, Zapdos, because it doesn't really have any standout traits besides its move pool. Things like Flamethrower, however, Rotom Heat, like I said, gets Stab from the Flamethrower, and Galvantula stands out also. But now with it being RU, I think it does a decent job as a pivot, to be honest. Obviously, you have things like Electros, but that gives you more of a slow Volt Switch and U-turn, which differentiates it from Manectric, who also has access to things like Flamethrower. But this also get it's more of a fast Volt Switcher. However, it does face a lot of competition from things like um, Jolteon, is somewhat bulkier, much faster, hits much harder on the special side. I might add. So there's things like that. Um, so yeah, that's really all I have to say. It does, like I said, think another Rotom form also that comes in, who also gets access to stab grass coverage, because you have things like Seismitoad, and with Manectric only get access to things like Hidden Power Ice, no grass stab. Seismitoad is going to be walling this for the majority, which makes Rotom more somewhat a better option at times. Likewise with Jolteon also. So that's really all I have to say for Manectric. And here we have Altaria, who moves straight down from OU, I believe, to PU, I think. Let me just double check that, if it moves straight down. It should have. One second, guys, I just want to see it. It did, in fact. So, yeah, Altaria did move straight down from OU down to the PU tier. Well, to be honest, in the PU tier, I think it's a really good cleric. To be honest, it has access to things like Heal Bell, and it's. Let's take a look at his stats. His stats are not half bad as well. You can see it's more of a bulky Pokemon. So, well, you have things like Audino, which can pass big wishes to his big HP, but this is more offensive compared to Audino's, since Audino's things like 60, I think, and it's much faster as well, so it can get Heal Bill much quicker. And obviously, Dragon typing is a great offensive typing. I honestly think that Altaria does have some NU viability as well, along with this PU viability, but I think it doesn't really, other than what I stated, it won't do much uh, in the PU tier. But like I said, it is more offensive and can can be if it has the right team support, can break through a lot of walls. To be honest, not just being a defensive cleric one. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Altaria. Here we have Lopunny. Nothing much to say about this other than it's a one available set, which is the, I believe, Choice Scarf, Klutz, Switcheroo. Yeah. So what this does is basically, um, even if it's unable to switch its item, for example, if the other Pokemon does have an item that's been knocked off, then then you can just switch through with any other Pokemon who does have an item, and even if it fails, it still won't work. It can still switch out and use any other move like return, because of this ability Klutz. So that's really hard to say, but it did drop down obviously from OU to PU. Um, yeah, nothing much else to say about it. I don't think he'll be really good, to be honest. And here we have Ampharos. Originally, it did move down from the UU tier to the NU and then to the PU. Nothing much to say about NU because it did move down to PU. However, yeah, PU. However, I don't think it will do well in PU. Let me just check something. It does get heal ball, but I don't think it will do well at all in PU, to be honest. And that is the reason why is because it faces a lot of competition from things such as Raichu and Zebstrika, who are both faster and I think a bit stronger. Let me just double check this. Raichu, not as strong, but Zebstrika. Okay, well they're not as strong as Ampharos. However, the thing about this is the fact that Ampharos is much slower than both of them. So it's really hard to actually fit them on the team compared to obviously fitting things like Substrike and Raichu on your team. However, it can function okay, I guess, as a cleric, considering it does have a decent HP and decent defenses. Um, it's just the speed though, whoever, which stops it from being offensively good. But yeah, it does get access to heal bell. Yeah, it just gets access to heal bell, so it can function there. Okay, cleric. That's really all I have to say about it. Stat could be a nuisance, but we'll see. Here we have God of War. So I don't know how to feel about this, to be honest. God of War obviously did drop down from OU to UU. God of War, really not much to say about it because the thing is that obviously you have this mega form with the pixelate wall breaking thing, but this Pokemon right here has a decent speed, I guess. Can function as a good choice scarfer with its good special attack. The thing is though, is that I don't know how well it will function, but with drops such as Sableye and things like that, it could be okay, to be honest. I really don't have much to say about God of War because I don't know how to feel about it. I guess it could drop down to RU because I don't think it'll be too overwhelming in that tier, but in this tier, you have got things like Slurpuff, but obviously that's more the physical fairy type. But you have things such as Florges, who works much better as a wall and as a wish passer. You have things like Whimsicott, who work much better as a pivot. So honestly, I don't have much to say about God of War. Now here we have Absol. Now, interesting thing about Absol, it moved down from UU to RU, and I think it does really well in the RU tier. It's a fantastic wall breaker thanks to its great offenses of 130 attack, and not so good speed. It's okay, and decent special attack. Obviously, you have things like Houndoom, which are faster but not as strong. But Absol can function good as a pursuit trapper. So you have things like the regenerator cores, which such as the most common one I think is the Mugus and Alomomola. So if they're weakened, then and they try to switch out to try and get regenerator healing, then Absol will function good as a pursuit trapper and might even take them out. But not much to say about it other than it's a really good wall breaker. It does face a bit of competition from the Houndoom. However, I think it does have some differentiating factors that should be taken into account, such as knockoff and bigger offenses and a much wider move pool than Houndoom. Thing about it though is the fact that it is very frail, as you probably know from the Mega Form. Um, is extremely frail, and any priority move from things like Hitmontop, Hitmonchan, things like that will take out with ease. Things like Fletchinder will be able to take out. So that's really something to think about when wanting to place Absol on your team. Here we're going to move down to the this set of drops, which we have Bayonet, which we've done for RU to PU. Nothing much to say. I don't think he'll do well in this tier because you have, if it was to function as a spin blocker, I don't think it'll do well considering the fact that we have things like Dusclops, Dustawar, the Gorgeist especially. It'll definitely outclass this Bayonet. Yeah, I don't think it'll do well at all. So let's just move straight on to Venusaur, which moved down from OU to RU, I believe. And, or was it UU? To 1 second, guys, let me just check this. Venusaur moved from Venusaur. Venusaur moved from OU to U and then to RU. Okay, so in the UUT, of course, it wasn't doing much since not many people use this. Obviously, moved down to RU, and in the RUT, I think this is a very threatening Pokemon. This Pokemon can function well as a obviously a Sun Sweeper or just as a life orb, general life orb attacker because of its great, decent bulk, access to reliable recovery and synthesis, decent stabs to be honest, and obviously we have the 100 special type, 100 special defense, good bulk. Speed is okay at the best, but in the sun it'll be really good. And just regular Venusaur can be really threatening Pokemon overall because it breaks down some regenerate cores like the Tangrowth. Well, not Tangrowth. I was gonna say Tangrowth and I was gonna say Tangrowth and Slowking, but it doesn't really work too much with Tangrowth. So neither Mugasaur, Alomomola. Oh, things like Tangrowth, Alomomola, it can break those down. Obviously, with having the Poison Stab, and then having the Grass Stab. Both are weak, especially defensively. So Venusaur can function really well, break down those awkward defensive cores. So yeah, I think Venusaur will do really well in this tier. Thing about it is though there are abundance of Psychic types in this tier, but and a lot of, obviously it doesn't have the thick fat, so it's weak to a lot of the fire types and the flying types, ice types as well in the tier. Don't see many ice types. Yeah, not many, but there are a few, and it does. There is reason to use it over things like Mungus. Obviously, it shares the same typing because it is more offensive, and there is reason to use it over Trevenant and Tangrowth, Virizion, and Rotom. Yeah, like I said, it'll be good in this tier. Here we move on to Aggron, which moved from UU to RU. Now, Aggron is in this weird position. It is quite outclassed by things such as Tyrantrum, who, of course, get access to Rockhead, get access to Head Smash, and the thing about it is, though, is that Tyrantrum has higher speed, I believe higher attack. Let me just check this. Tyrantrum. Higher attack. And obviously, it doesn't really need that bulk to be honest, because it's going to be attacking. They have the Choice Band, Rockhead, Head Smash is completely outclassed by Tyrantrum. Also gets access to Dragon Dance, so it doesn't have to lock itself into this Head Smash, and can be switched in on. And as a hazard setter, the thing about it is obviously it gets sturdy ability, and it can set up Stealth Rock. But I don't think it should be used in that way, which is kind of weird. I think it's more of an offensive run in this tier, and but obviously, like I just said, it's outclassed. But I don't think it could move down to NU because I think it would really destroy the NU tier. You know what I mean, to be honest. Because things like Registeel outclass it. Things like where am I going there? And then as a pivot, things like Magneton obviously outclass it. So I don't think it would be really too good in that tier just because of it's really outclassed. Here we have Lady moving down from RU to PU. Nothing much to say about it. It's really frail. It's bad ice defensive typing, and you can't use it offensively because it doesn't get any moves to benefit from, or like good moves to benefit from. So it doesn't have the refrigerate ability like its Mega Evolution. So it's frail. It's bad at typing. So all that's really good for is the Spikes lead set. However, other Pokemon can perform that much better than it can. And yeah, that's all I have to say about Glalie. One sec. And now let's move on. Let's go away from Glalie and move on to Steelix. Now, Steelix moved on from RU to NU, and I think that's pretty big, to be honest, because we have previously we had things like Mega Artino, who were pretty threatening in this tier. However, Gerda was a lot of the things that was things such as Mega Artino, Mushana, common psychic types, the fairy types like Mawile. It was a lot of those things, so I think Steelix will do really well in this tier. Obviously, getting things to like Stealth Rock and Notificate can be function quite well offensively due to the fact that it gets ability Sheer Force. So I think it'll function well. However, there are quite a few special attackers in this tier that could prey on its weak special defensive thing. However, due to his typing, it was a lot of especially offensive Pokemon such as, like I said, Megadino, which were previously rampant in the tier, and obviously having good physical defense, it does do well. However, there are quite a bit of fighting types, so that could be bad for Steelix in that case. But let's move on anyway to Blastoise. Now, Blastoise there's really not much to say about it. It does what it needs to do. Obviously, you have it's a rapid spinner. That's really as much as you can use it for, just a rapid spinner. It did move down from U to RU, and yeah, I think it's decent in the tier, because just like Mega Blastoise is just decent within this tier. Nothing really stand out about it. We've got other rapid spinners, other water types, but I think it can differentiate itself in different ways. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. Next we'll move on to this. Now here we have Sceptile. Now Sceptile is an amazing Pokemon in NU, and I'm not just saying that, it is amazing. Sceptile is such a destructive force with its offenses and its unburdened ability. First of all, it's extremely fast, and then you have things like Swallow. Obviously, you're speeding it by 5 base points, but then you have Unburden, which when activated, it will definitely outspeed the Swallow and take it out with ease. It's got a wide move pool. It's extremely powerful, even especially with the life form. The only thing about it is it's quite frail, so any physical attackers will be able to take it out quite easily. But it takes out a majority of some offensive threats, such as what's that Pokemon I was thinking of? I was thinking of Barbracle. Yeah, things like Barbracle, things like Rhydon, which is a common lead. It could do work against Steelix, which I talked about before. So yeah, Sceptile is an amazing Pokemon, and it excels really well in this tier. Here we have Camerupt, which we've done from RU to NU, and then I think PU, or maybe straight to PU. But Camerupt is an okay Pokemon. It'll do fine in the PU tier as a Stealth Rocket. It can do some work in NU, to be honest. Obviously having that solid rock ability and getting access to Stealth Rock, so it could work well. Nothing much to say about it really. It's just a decent Pokemon. Obviously having good offensive. It has a decent defensive typing, despite being weak to 4 times weak to water and ground. However, Solid Rock does remedy that somewhat. I mean, it's not the bulkiest, but it's good offensively. You're mostly going to use it as Stealth Rocker. There are other options, but it's nice to know Camerupt is there. Here we have Diancie, and now here's the thing about Pokemon like Diancie. He has bad HP, bad speed, but all the rest of his stats are good, and that's kind of weird. That's why it moved down from RU to U and then RU, because Pokemon like Mesprit don't have. It's hard to use this Pokemon effectively, but when you do, it can be a monster. It has obviously things like Diamond Storm, Moonblast. It can be a viable Trick Room setter and abuser of Trick Room, a decent Stealth Rocker. The only thing is, it is weak to 4 times weak to Steel types, which there are a bit of in the tier. Obviously having Mega Steelix, which is a threat in this tier. So sometimes it depends on the team matchup quite a bit. with Diancie, and obviously his stats are quite weird. And if this has good support, then it will do really well. And yeah, that's about it. Here we have Aerodactyl retrieved down from EU to RU. Nothing much to say about it. The Smoke Sash still to rock lead, and yeah, that's about it because that's what you're gonna use it for. To be honest, you could use it as an offensive Pokemon. Not really the most optimal. It does have amazing speed, so Stealth Rock is the best option if you want fast Stealth Rocker. And if you're using an offensive team, then this if you want an offensive team, an offensive fast offensive Stealth Rocker, Aerodactyl is a good option. Here we have Medicham, which moved down from which it was previously in RU, but then with its Mega Evolution moved down from OU. So nothing much to say about it. It's amazing World Breaker with its pure power ability, and yeah, obviously doubling its attack, making it one of the strongest Pokemon in the tier. However, it does have the base 60, but one doubled obviously. I'm not sure how many it goes up to because it's weird with these pure power abilities. It might go up to 180, not base power, just one. Obviously, it'll probably be 120 base power, but 180 in general. And yeah, it's just a great wall breaker, good scarf user. Can put a dent in a lot of teams if you're not prepared. So let's just move on to Beedrill, which we had from OU to PU. And obviously, there's much to say about it. Beedrill, bad stats, bad defensive typing, taken out by priority easily. And just Focus Sash, Toxic Spikes, but it's really outclassed to be honest. And yeah, there really is no reason to use it other than if you're using a fun team. Um, Here we have Sharpedo. Now, think about this. I've talked about Sharpedo in my suspect test analysis. So, if you want to hear more about Sharpedo, then please watch that video because I'm not going to be talking about it in this video. However, so let's just go on to Pinza then, who moved out from OU to NU. Now, Pinza's can run a few viable sets. Uh, it really doesn't have any standout features because it has the Sword set, it has the Stealth Rock set, Suicide Lead Stealth Rock set, and it has the Choice Scarf or Choice Band and Moxie set. Now the thing about those are you have things Swords and Pokemon like Samurott or Scyther, which are amazing, especially Samurott. Then you have Stealth Rock setters like Rhydon and Regirock, which kind of do a better option than Pinsir because they're more bulkier. And then in terms of Choice Band, Choice Scarf, you have other Pokemon, Haunter. If you're looking for a physical attack, you have things like Barbicle can run Choice Scarf quite effectively. So there is some reason to use Pinsir, but I'm not sure really. Not much to say. Can't. There's no. It's confusing. This Pokemon. Can't really say much about it. Oh, accidentally confused. See. Yeah, really not much to say about it. Other than, of course, what I've just stated. Could be a good in Wall Breaker with that 125 attack. But yeah, it really says what it looks like. Anyway, we have Charizard, which, as you, the reason I put it in my thumbnail, because it probably went through the most changes. It went from OU to UU, then to RU, and then to NU. Now, in terms of moving to UU, obviously, completely outclassed. Really bad in that tier. Then to RU, same thing, really bad, outclassed. And then in NU. Now, in NU, this thing is a beast. I can't tell you how many times that I've faced a Charizard, and it's surprisingly beaten me because I underestimated it because of its previous statuses. Obviously, it is 4 times weak to Stealth Rocks, however, that can be mitigated somewhat in this tier. And just it has access. It can be an effective choice specs user, effective choice scarf user. Having a 100 base speed is really good, and 109 base special attack, so it can break through a lot of walls. Along with the fact it gets access. But not many people know this. It gets access to belly drum. I was one time being swept by a sub belly drum set, and that wasn't fun. And here we a swords dance set, which can be good. So I think Charizard is and it does get access to reliable recovery moves. I think Charizard is an amazing Pokemon in NU, and it shouldn't be underestimated. Don't underestimate like I did, otherwise you will get swept. And here we have Audino. Now Audino, I didn't mention it before. I forgot which Pokemon I was talking about. I think I was talking about uh,
Altaria. Yeah, I was talking about Altaria, and here we have Audino, who can function as a amazing cleric, despite its speed isn't that good, but clerics don't have to be fast. But it can function as good cleric due to his amazing bulk and a, a fantastic wish passer due to his high HP. So, wish it will be passing off huge wishes. Oh, I can't say that. To other Pokemon, obviously offensively it's not good at all. It's a very passive Pokemon, unlike Altaria. So these two will be constantly battling it out for a choice on your team. However, if you want more of a Wish Passer than a Cleric, then Mega Altaria is a better Pokemon for you. And yeah, that's all I have to say about. And I mean, I don't know what's a better choice for you. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know what's a better choice for you. Now here we have Metagross, we've moved on from OU to U. And the thing about this is, it was previously known to be an amazing Pokemon, like in things in the previous tiers, generations, an amazing Pokemon at OU. Now with the introduction of Mega Metagross, it is completely outclassed, obviously, and other Steel types, of which are faster and a bit stronger. Well, not stronger, just faster in general than this Metagross. It is bulky and it is it's decently fast, but it did move down to UU, which I think is fine too for it. Obviously, it will never move down to well, it should have moved down to RU. I think it will break that tier, but nothing much to say because you have Pokemon like Double Aid, which is much more bulky, obviously, and then you have other steel types like Meg Agron who function better as Stealth Rocks there. However, I think Melgross will serve as a nice fit in this. What did I do? Will serve as a nice fit in this tier, just as a Stealth Rocks there, as an offensive Pokemon, as an Assault Vest user. So I think it'll be fine. Nothing much to say about this Pokemon. So obviously it'll just do what you needed to. It's really a reliable Pokemon to use. Now here we have Gyarados. Now Gyarados moved around from OU to UU, and when I first heard this, I was shocked because previously I was sweeping teams with Gyarados in OU and with the Sub Dragon set, and now it's in UU. I get to destroy even more teams because this Pokemon is a threat in this tier, and I'm not even exaggerating. You see, I move my hands, and you can't even see it, and this Pokemon is a threat and a half in this tier. It is amazing. Due to its instant power with the 125 attack and can be boosted even further with the Dragon Dances. So it gets access to Self, it gets access to uh, uh, just like instant power. The thing about it is and it has two good abilities in Interplay and Moxie. Depending on what you want to use, it's your choice really. I mean, its speed isn't that great. It is weak to Stealth Rocks and it is worn down easy. It is prone to the Volt Switch, so Volt Turn will be good against this. However, it is decently bulky, and if you're unprepared, you will get swept because this Pokemon is a threat, and you should watch out for it. If you're unprepared for this, it could be detrimental, definitely. So Gyarados is an amazing Pokemon in the UU tier. Now moving on to the most recent tier shifts, some of the most recent tier shifts. We have February's tier shifts. Then we have Hooper, like Diancie, ironically. Sorry about that. Not much to say about Hooper. As a spin blocker, I think it's outclassed by the likes of Spiritomb, and as an offensive Pokemon or Trick Room abuser, I think it could work fine. Just don't use it as a spin blocker because it does get murked by things like Doctor due to its typing and bad defenses. However, offensively, it's decent. The thing about it, speed isn't good, but like I said, as a Trick Room abuser, it could be extremely good. And yeah, just as nothing much to say about it, other than it can be extremely powerful. It does get access to Nasty Plot. It does, so it could be a official wall breaker, in fact. So yeah, use Hooper at your own risk because its flaws could outweigh any choice of using it, if you get what I'm saying. But if you have the right support, it will be a decent Pokemon. Here we have Ampharos. We already talked about him. So now we have, like Gyarados, Alakazam, amazing speed, amazing special attack, but extremely frail. Now in the UU tier, it completely outclasses things like Espeon. Um, uh, Not Cresselia, because Cresselia is more bulky option. Oh yeah, like I talked about God of War before. Alakazam outclasses God of War, to be honest. It can function well as a Calm Mind user. It can function just as a wall breaker with the choice specs, and obviously we have the Magic God thing. So if it were to run a focus set, you'd have to actually without stealth rocks hazards won't affect it. So you have to actively go out of your way to break its focus sash, and with the life orb it can break through walls like nothing, because while being a good offensive type, psychic is an amazing offensive typing, but this is its downfall, because it's extremely frail, along with psychic being a bad defensive typing, and it's just it's an amazing wall breaker but just frail, so you have to play around its frailness. It was previously in the UU tier, if you guys didn't know that. um Obviously moved to OU because of its mega, which what used to be U as well, if you didn't know, and it just gets access to amazing coverage, and it'll just be a threatening Pokemon in this tier. Uh, so yeah, remember guys, work around its frailness and use its advantages to your advantage, because this is an amazing Pokemon in this tier. We have Cryogonal, which interestingly moved down to PU from NU, and I think this is a decent thing, because we have many physical attackers, such as Hitmonchan, and many fighting types, who a lot of which get access to priority, which completely destroyed Cryogonal. So as a hazard remover, it was hard to utilize because of its frailness on the physical side. However, especially and in terms of speed, it has a, I think, only 3 Pokemon get access to this speed tier, which on Meowshark and Mega Pinsir, I'm pretty sure, and it's which means it can get off rapid speed extremely fast. Cryogonal here, and it has decent special defense, and decent special attack. So in the PU tier, I think it'll do okay, because it does get access to the Freeze Drive, which are stamp, and effectively it's water types. And you have things like Print which I will be talking about later, which acts works as a defogger. How this beats it 1v1. So as an ice type, I think it's okay, but compared to things like Rotom, the refrigerator one, Rotom Frost, um, it's not in terms of being an ice type. It's not as good due to Rotom, the refrigerator one. I keep forgetting Frost being a having amazing dual stab. So yeah, as a rapid spinner, this could be okay. Crown, to be honest. Now here we have Almost Star, which in the move down from RU to NU. Now I have quite a bit to say about this Pokemon. In the RU tier, if you had a Focus Sash, you had Weak Armor, and you had Shell Smash. If you got one Shell Smash up, they hit you with a not so strong physical move, and you had things like Scald or Hydro Pump or whatever they ran, you were getting swept no matter what. You couldn't stop it, because it was pretty much going to sweep your entire team for the most part, to be honest, because it does have some resistance in the RU tier, and it did do quite a bit actually. And I remember watching a video of it just destroying a team, and it does get access to the things like Swift Sim. So as a Sun Sweeper with choice specs, it can break through a lot of walls, along with being extremely fast. With this rain up, without the rain, they wouldn't be too fast. But it has amazing special attack, decent defense, but not going to be using that too much. But now it also gets access, like I was about to say, access to all forms of entry hazard besides Sticky Web. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, as a lead, it'll be amazing. And now in the NU tier, it's going to be even better, because it can defeat a lot of other things. However, it does face competition with things like Barbicle. However, it does set itself apart, which I'll also be talking about. Um, yeah, but as a Stealth Rock setter, it does beat things like Rhydon, like Regirock, or other leads 1v1, or Sandslash. So, as a lead, it could be a really good Pokemon. Oh, almost all right here. And I could actually see it getting suspect tested in the future, if I'm honest. But let's move on to Barbicle. Not too much to say about it. It moved from BL4, which is the BL for the NU tier, to NU. So not too much to say about it. just Shell Smash. That's all I'm gonna say really. Um, yeah, from this tier, BL4 to the Elite tier. Also there was Pelipper. However, I think that was before maybe. But yeah, just Pelipper. Good defensive Pokemon. Just faced competition from Mankind. But yeah, I'm not sure what Pelipper is. Doesn't really matter to be honest. Um, Now here we have Mega Gyarados. Whew. I had heard previously that in February, this is January, that they were actually, once Gyarados had moved down, that they were going to bring down Mega Gyarados, and I was thinking, are they insane? Because look at this Pokemon, just look at it while I talk to you about the history of it. The history, you know what I mean. But um, like I said, they were thinking of moving this thing now, and I was witnessing normal Gyarados ripping up the UU tier, and they were thinking of bringing down this Pokemon. Now let's talk about this Pokemon now. We've talked about its background. Uh, Actually, I also want to say, what happened was that they moved it down to the UU tier, and then I think within an hour, because I was looking forward to, I just come back from somewhere, and I was looking forward to, oh, let me use Gyarados, because they might have moved it down, because I knew that was going to be the day that the tier shifts were going to happen. So I was like, let me use this Mega Gyarados and destroy the tier. Uh, and as I assumed what would happen, I knew actually predicted that what they would do is they quick banned it within an hour of it being moved down. So it moved straight back up to BL. So now it's not usable in UU tier, but only in the OU tier. And now let's talk about this Pokemon. It has the same bulk as Umbreon, which everyone hates. Everyone hates Umbreon because of how bulky it is. The only thing is it misses off one defense point. But other than that, just look. Umbreon. 95, 110, 130, 95, 109, 130, just one defense point missing off. On top of that, it has a decent speed tier, which can be boosted further with things like Dragon Dance. So, it can be an effective sweeper due to Dragon Dance. About that, where was I, guys? Oh, yeah. He has an amazing sheer force, or not the ability, amazing attack stat. 155, which can obviously be boosted further, like I said, and amazing offensive typing in water and dark. So overall, it's an amazing threat, and will rip up the U tier. Now in the OU tier, it doesn't do too much. Obviously, it's not used very often. Also, it has Mold Breaker, so it can beat things that, like Raw and Wash in this tier. But you guys already know what it does in this tier. I need to go quick, guys. So sorry if I'm rushing a bit. Here we have Primplup. Moved down from NU to PU. It's just nothing much to say about it. It's a good stealth rocker. It's a good defogger, and in the tier, like I said before, it does get beaten by things like Cryogonal. But as it has a remover and stealth rocker, it's pretty decent and nothing to laugh at really. It's quite an amazing Pokemon in terms of defenses with the things like EVLite. Offensively, it's okay. But you're not going to be using this offensively, to be honest. You're just going to be using it as Stealth Rocker and Defogger. So it does add some interesting factor to the tier. Obviously, we already talked about Charizard, and now we have Gerda. Now, this is the last Pokemon I'm going to be talking about in this video. So it was quite a long video, but if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. But Gerda, it moved from NU to RU. It doesn't say really right now, but it will change. This was the most recent tier shift, the only tier shift in March. I cannot tell you how many times I was destroyed and swept by this Pokemon in NU. It destroys so much of my teams in NU, and I love NU in this generation. It's okay. I've been recently getting into it, and it's quite good. But obviously this Pokemon is amazing. Fantastic bulk with EV-Light, good decent bulk. It has guts, so that makes it extremely powerful one status, and so it can be a great status as well. It has sheer force, which can destroy so many things due to Gerda's amazing strength with 105 attack. Like I said, decent bulk. The only thing is speed, but however that can be somewhat mitigated by things like Mach Punch, and it's just an amazing Pokemon in NU. Now in RU, however, I would like to talk about, like I told my NU and RU suspect test analysis, Sork leaving the tier, and now Gerda leaving the tier. So fighting types are going to be, it's going to be a tricky situation with those things. Obviously having the fighting dock, it's like cool. However, watch that other video, like I said, if you want more info about that. But now in the NU tier, I think RU tier, I think it can still do a lot of work because, like I said, it's powerful. Things like that. And even in the RU tier, I think if you look at the variability ranking, it's ranked pretty high because it can destroy a lot of Pokemon with its priority and setup with bulk up and things like that, like Chino, guys. But it is walled by some walls in the tier, so it can beat things like Abdul, like I mentioned earlier. And yeah, that's all I have to say about it. It'll be amazing in RU, I should suspect. And yeah, that's it with the video. Really, I've gone through all the tier ships from December to March, and yeah, that's the end of the video. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please, if you guys did enjoy, don't forget to smash that like button. If you didn't like the video as much, you can dislike the video, but most of all, leave a comment to tell me to improve. If you want to keep up with the content, destroy that subscribe button. If you really like the video, add it to your favorites, and yeah, that's all I've had to say for now. But most of all, please, please, please have a great day.